So good morning.
Good
Happy
morning.
Sunday. Um,
Yes.
I'm happy to welcome Laurence Karasek. Is that the right way to pronounce it?
Right. That is the right
Okay.
pronunciation.
Most people call you Larry, I suppose.
Actually, no, I go by Lawrence.
You
Generally,
do go by
I
Laurence.
mean, I do
Okay,
get
then
an
I'll call you
occasional Larry, but
Laurence. I don't want to,
yeah, I come from an English background, so
they
they
use the
don't use
right.
the term Larry. Yeah, from English parents, so I stick to the Lawrence. I stick to the traditional
Okay,
form.
okay. So Laurence, you came up with the startup, and the startup is to facilitate contacts between someone offering a service and people looking for that service.
Yes, yeah. Specifically, it's in the broad space of freelance or marketplaces, right?
Yeah.
So that's a growing part of the gig economy. There's an increasing demand for companies to hire of all sizes to hire people remotely and work, especially now with what's happened, with COVID and everything.
People work from home.
And there are better, improved technologies and tools out there to make that happen. And so companies are becoming more comfortable with that, and it's growing. But we think that what what's out there now has created a need for improvements.
Okay.
So there are some of the big competitors. So if you're a business and you want to hire somebody remotely, you have a lot of different choices now. Um, but often what happens, what we see, for example, Upwork is the biggest. They were the first and sort of the biggest, are still the biggest player in that business.
Yeah.
So if you're a small business and you want to hire somebody, well, you could pay companies a lot of money to create your team or that sort of thing. But if you don't have a big budget and you're trying to find the right person and you can't afford or you don't want to hire them full time,
Oh,
uh, then you can use one of these existing applications that are out there like Upwork. But what happens is that
you don't
from
know
the
these
perspective,
people. Yeah.
pardon?
You don't know who you're hiring.
Right. Well, what happens is that there's a tons of information. I mean, if you Google, developer, hire developer, or you know, or you go to Upwork to do it, you get tons of results.
Okay.
But the problem is getting for a business is getting to the point where you find that right person, right?
Mm,
So there's so much information, and the way these sites work is that they require you to pay them before you can communicate with the
exactly.
person,
Yeah. Yeah. You
right?
have to bid. Yeah.
And then so you can't really simply communicate. There's no sense of community or anything on these sites. It's just simply it's about the transaction. So what happens when you find the right person, you get all these results, and you spend a lot of time filtering through these results because you don't really know much about the people that you're hiring. You
Okay.
don't see there's no specific details about who they worked for and in order to qualify their results. They have some information there, but it's not very specific or detailed. So, when you're hiring somebody, you want to know who did they work for and when, who are their references, what exactly did they do. But so that information is there. They have skills, but it's very hard to get to the point where you can evaluate them specifically. So because the information is vague, and you can't
Mm-hmm.
really communicate
Mm-hmm.
until you and evaluate them until you go through and you have to personally
Try them.
evaluate every single person. So there could be dozens or hundreds even that could be in the ballpark of what your skills you're looking for, but you're going to spend a huge amount of time because you have to interview everyone to find out who you trust. And it's really about getting to the point of who you can trust to hire. And because the information is restricted and controlled, what you have to spend a lot of time as a business. And from the freelancer perspective, they charge a lot of money, and they charge the freelancer a lot of money for every single time that they're hired,
Mm.
right? So what happens if you are, say, a developer or whatever you're doing, you're a virtual assistant, or a marketing person is that when you get hired, you have to pay a lot to as a fee for each time you're hired for each project. So the freelancers don't want to stay on the platforms because it's as soon as they get to know the person that they're working with, they want to leave. Right? So that's what happens is they get on the platform, they meet people, they do a project, and then they leave. And so they don't want to go back there. It's a bad experience because it's all about the transaction and about getting that as cheaply as possible and quickly for the business. But for the freelancer, there's no retention. There's no sense of I want to stay on here and I see ongoing value, other than meeting that person. So we talked to a lot of freelancers, and that is the overwhelming experience that they have. So they get frustrated. They don't want to stay on there. So this is overall. There's a sense of lack of quality, right, and a lack of value on an ongoing basis. That's for these freelancers, and this is really what motivated us, right? So and that lack of quality reflects in the overall experience with both the businesses and the freelancers, that there's no sense of I want to continue to use this. This is a place where I can stay and I can trust the people that I'm talking to, and I want to continue to use this on an ongoing basis, and I see value on an ongoing basis. And so this is really the problem that initiated us to, and my business partner and I, to start this. And so and so that's really the context of it. And about a year and a half ago, my business partner, Pilar Zarate, she's a Colombian woman, she approached me and she said, well, how do we address this lack of quality from a freelancer perspective? It's a poor experience for them, and can we provide a better experience? And that's sort of where it started from. I said, that's a great concept. I love the mission, the idea, and that's sort of what started us rolling on this path. And so there's been a lot of evolution since then, and but that's what kind of started us, that problem in that context.
But if a freelancer wants to leave because he found another job, it has nothing to do with sometime with the platform. They just moved on to another position. But
yeah, these are short-term projects. Yeah, these are short-term projects, and they finish one project and they want to move on, but they don't want to stay on the platform.
Okay.
Right, and continue to stay on there.
That's right.
Right. Yeah.
So there are some platforms where the person who gives a quote pays a fee.
Okay.
You heard about that one?
Yeah.
So you pay each time you bid. And that's bad for the worker too. I mean, for the freelancer, because he pays he sends 5 quotes to 5 jobs and he doesn't get hired on any of them. He's losing money.
Right.
Because the
platform. So that's another part of it. So there's 2 ways that this works. So on Upwork, the business creates a job essentially, and then people submit proposals, right? Or freelancers submit proposals like that as you're talking, and it's typically a race to the bottom. It's all about sort of the cheapest person that could be found, and because the business doesn't knows very little about the real quality of the people that they're interviewing, it becomes all about the cheapest person, not about the best person. So that's a part of the problem that we're trying to address.
Yeah, the bid, where people are bidding,
Right. So it's a competitive bidding process. So what we started with was, how can we improve the experience from a freelancer perspective? So you have to think about both parts of this marketplace and look at the value proposition from both perspectives, and think about how can we create better value on an ongoing basis, a better value proposition that keeps people retained and wanting to continue to participate, and giving them basically a freelancer better control over their situation, right? And a better experience. So there are a few things that we considered, and one is that a lot of freelancers don't have benefits, or if they have benefits, they have to use another application or tool to do it, right? And they don't have often a way to fund the benefits. So even if it's not an easy process for them to go into other platforms, and they don't have a way to generate the revenue to do this or to manage it, right? And so if they, for example, if they want sick time off, or they want some type of health insurance, or maybe life insurance or things like that, how do they generate the funds to pay for it, and then how do they buy it? So that was kind of our first concept that we started with, and we found that there was a lot of interest in that amongst the freelancer community. And so that's one piece of what we're building, is the piece where they could actually, as they are negotiating and pricing their work and their offers that they have on the platform, they can actually include a benefit amount, which is a percentage that is hidden from the clients, but that is their percentage. They can put it into a fund, and then they can use that fund to purchase benefits within the platform.
Oh yeah, I do offer health and life, so I'll go on your platform when it's ready.
Right. Yeah. So that's one big thing, and the other really big thing that when we surveyed freelancers is they want a better, more professional representation of their work, right? So they want to be able to show that and a lot of freelancers, they have websites, they have portfolios, they have work online, but how can they put this together and be able to promote themselves in a way that makes the most sense for them, that's professional, and that they can control. And on many of these platforms, they can't really do that. They're just one little piece of data in this massive system, right? So we're building what we call a business page, where they can link to their LinkedIn profile, they can link to their portfolios, they can describe their skills and rate their skills, and they can build this concept of this business page, and they can create offers for what they see as a way to introduce themselves to potential clients. So for example, if you're a marketing expert, you can create an offer for a brand where you could say, I can design your brand, or build a brand for you for, say, $500 or $1,000 or whatever they see is appropriate, right, for their experience. And so that gives them a way, and this is typically how a freelancer works. They want to meet a client, they want to see how they work together, and create an initial project, and sort of to get the ball rolling, so they can control this situation where they can say, yeah, I can, let's start working together, and that will give them a way to initiate the process. So that offer is based on their certain expertise in different areas, and they can have different offers. And so
on Fiverr, the freelancer describe his service. Then before you book him, you can have a conversation with him. There's a contact button. And then when you see there's a match, then you book him, or you book his gig. So there is a dialogue before you hire someone on Fiverr.
Right. Yeah, so that's right. And you can have a dialogue with, also on Upwork too, but you can't get their information. It's about, you can, on our platform, it's the other big piece. So there's some other elements to it that we're building, is that we want to allow free communication and networking, and we want to build a community, right? So so there's a couple of different ideas. So one is to step back a little bit, right? The way we are differentiating ourselves is that we are a referral network for for hiring freelancers, right? So for a freelancer, from the freelancer perspective, they can create this profile and this business page and their offers, but they can also network and communicate with other freelancers, right, for free, right? So we have a sense of community, and but what I mean by this referral network is that every freelancer, in order to get on our platform, they need a referral from a business or from a right. So this gets to the sense of quality, right? That they need to have a specific referral with specific dates and times about their history of their work that they can demonstrate. And this shows their years of experience. It shows their specific work. It shows who the client is, and it creates a sense of trust, right, from the business perspective. But from the freelancer perspective, they can best showcase their experience and differentiate themselves in terms of quality. They could say, look at the years of experience, look at what I've done, look at my portfolio, look at my referrals, right? So that's a really important element, is that you can't find another element. So on other platforms is this referral. So this is our overall sort of brand and message out there, is that we are the first referral network, right, for hiring freelancers. So and touching on this element of community that I mentioned is so if you search, for example, a business searches and sees a potential candidate, they want to hire a developer, they can simply connect with them and communicate with them for free. There's no limitation. There's no need for negotiation or putting in and making and doing a transaction. We are opening it up and saying we're giving that away, and they can communicate and they can do whatever they want. If they want to leave the platform, they could actually do that too, right? So we're allowing them to communicate and network and discuss it for free. And we believe that as they build a community of freelancers, the freelancers can connect with one another. They can build a team and work together. The businesses can connect with the freelancers for free. So we think that if we're building a community and a level of trust, that it's no longer about that transaction and getting off the platform. It's about adding value, right, on an ongoing basis. And so that's kind of from the freelancer perspective, how we are adding value, and we think that we can retain them and create a better sort of ongoing value proposition. From the business, there are different elements to this referral network idea, but I don't want, I've been talking a lot. I don't want to,
No, but what I want to say is people go on this platform to build some experience, and therefore they don't have, sometimes, since they are students or something, they don't have referrals yet. They just want to build up their skills, and that's why they offer their services at a discounted rate. So that's a different kind of mindset. What you're talking about is people who do have referrals, people who do have experience, and people who are not just off college. You want people who can actually be referred by someone, correct?
Right. Yeah. So everybody on the platform needs to be referred by, if you're a freelancer, you need to be referred by a client.
Yeah.
But you can also, but even our clients, and by the way, just to comment that, even if somebody's starting out as a developer, they could still get a referral, because they can still do volunteer work. They could still build a portfolio. I mean, this is what I've been in technology for over 20 years, but when I started as a developer, that's what I did. I went out and I worked for non-for-profit organizations for free in order to build my portfolio. And that was a valid, that's valid work. It was, anyway, but that's an aside. But I think,
Are you currently working while developing this idea?
I've been working on this full time. And I'm going to, and that, but you know, and I may do consulting work from time to time.
Okay. Because
And I was
you are a
I,
developer, right?
right. And I've worked, I worked as a CTO at a venture capital company towards the end of last year. And, and I may continue to do that, you know, as we develop our business.
Yeah.
Um, but I wanted to elaborate on this
It's
referral.
going to be called Vivi.co?
Vivi.page actually is the URL
Oh, that
currently.
page, P-A-G-E?
P-A-G-E, and we kind of use that because the page part is about from the freelancer perspective, they're having their business page, right? That's why
Oh,
we use the page. That's a new extension that is not very common.
yeah, I never heard of that one.
Yeah,
That
but it
page.
kind of fits in with what we're doing.
Okay, so each developer will have his own profile page.
Right. So if I may just describe a little bit the experience from a business perspective,
Yeah.
right? Because so if you're a business and you want to know, you want to find somebody to hire, we found in our research that the way most people find somebody is the first place they go is they ask for a referral,
Mm,
right? They ask their friends, they ask their colleagues, hey, do you know anybody with these skills? And if that doesn't work, and why do they do that? They do that because they trust their
that
colleagues and
friend.
friends,
They trust the
right?
friend.
Right. So starting with that idea, this is another reason. So this whole referral idea. So this is another reason why we're focusing on this as a differentiator in this marketplace.
Yeah.
And so the way we're approaching that from the business perspective is that we'll of course provide a way for them to connect and view these business pages with the referrals, right, of the freelancers, but also they can we are building a referral network so that when the business joins, when that business person joins, they can actually connect with and extend their own network. So they could, for example, they have their own contacts. They can integrate their contacts and use that as a tool for querying for their needs that they need for hiring.
Mm-hmm.
But we can also use their profile and their details to build a community of contacts that extends their network that they can also query. So we're using some AI here to basically create an extended network of that business person that they can then query, say, hey, I need to hire, I'm looking for this type of person, or I have this problem with I'm not sure who to hire, but can someone please help me? Or do you have any ideas? Can you provide a referral? So
Mm,
that query goes out to the network within our system, and then the other businesses in the system that may be in the same type of business or match their profile and have common areas would have an incentive to then reply, even if they don't know them. Uh, we're going to build in a reward system that will give them access to premium features if they reply to that query and provide a referral, right? So this kind of so what we're doing, the whole idea of this trust, as I mentioned, the trust of the referral network, is that what we're taking advantage of here. We're trying to approach the problem from a different angle. So there are different ways that we are using this referral network idea, right? One is from the freelancer perspective. The other is communicating with somebody's network or extended network that we will be building as well.
mm. Like I am basically an agent on commission, so I won't be able to be on your platform because I don't get paid directly by my client. I get paid a commission on what I sell.
Okay.
So that will be a different model, right?
Interesting. Yeah. So if you you get paid a commission by.
I am an agent. I'm licensed, and I do have many clients. I mean, referrals won't be a problem, but it's not the person who wants my services who's going to pay me. He's going to pay the carrier, and the carrier will give me a commission.
and the carrier pays you.
Right.
Well,
So
maybe the carrier could, but perhaps they could manage that transaction themselves. So the person could find you, and then the carrier pays the
agent.
agency, or the intermediary is the one that finds you, right? They're the intermediary, so they find you, and then the carrier, but you're actually working for the carrier.
I'm an independent contractor. I work for multiple carriers.
Right. So you could still find a way to do it if the carrier, if there was a relationship between the intermediary and the carrier,
Okay.
so that the intermediary could refer the carrier and basically connect you, right? So you could do your project, right, on an ongoing basis and provide, but the intermediary is the one who would find you on the platform and negotiate, and then the carrier then pays them, right?
Yeah, it's going to be complicated because
yeah. So there's three
multiple,
parties here.
multiple carriers. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's three different parties here, but I think there would need to be a relationship between the third party carrier and the intermediary, right, for them to negotiate and their fees separately.
There's no fees. It's fixed. In other words, maybe it won't fit that kind of model. Yeah.
So that if the carrier hires, you work directly for the carrier. Well, if the intermediary
I work
finds you,
for my client that try to find them the best plan, but the thing is, he's not paying me directly. I'm gonna just get like a marketing fee from the carrier, but it's not a fee paid by the client.
right?
He's gonna pay
Right.
for his health insurance to the insurance company.
Right.
But anyway, that's probably a different model.
Right. Well, the value we're adding from the perspective of a freelancer like you is that it's a matter of being able to provide a service where somebody can find and connect with you, right? And that's really the service. Now, you may have a business relationship outside of the system, and that's perfectly fine, right? But in terms of being able to promote your services and connect and network with other similar people or your clients on, right? That's really our value that we're adding for you. I think.
You get paid each time.
Well, I think so. That's a good question. What is the business model, right? That's your question.
You get paid a fee.
Well, I think what we're still debating that a little bit, discussing our options, but I think what our goal is to have a subscription-based model so that
subscription, I see.
Right. So that rather than making this about the transaction, that you as a freelancer would be able to see value on an ongoing basis. You could use the different services, including being able to use the transaction and payment system that we have, right? So if somebody wants to pay you in the system and use that to pay you, and you want to make sure that you're going to get paid safely and that your payment is protected and all that stuff, you can use that service. You can use the networking services. People can connect and find you. You can use the service to promote your own business page and sell your services. You'll be able to use the benefit element of it, right? The benefit funding and purchasing of benefits, right? So we are trying to add value so that you will see that on an ongoing basis you want to participate and be involved and help, most importantly, find clients for you, but also network with people that you see are going to help you build your business.
That's right.
So right, so you will have your own URL that you can then put all of your experience and your portfolio and your skills, and then you can use that to find other clients. You can promote it whatever way you want to, and we think that's getting back to our initial point. that will add value on an ongoing basis and give you better control, right, over your sort of your financial destiny. And that's really our mission, is about improving the financial health and well-being of freelancers and our communities overall. Mm-hmm. And so we're, as we move forward, we're going to, we want to find ways that we can continue and to do that. We're working on an MVP right now. We've made really good progress with it. As we get more feedback, we're out there talking to individuals, freelancers and businesses, and we're learning a lot. Right from this conversation, for example, this is really helpful.
Yeah.
And we're learning a lot and understanding how we can help people, and we're going to refine that. And even right at this time, we have some clients that we're helping, and we are connecting them with freelancers, and helping to build our relationships and our network. And that's how we're going to allow ourselves to move forward.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good that people can leave the platform. It's like Airbnb. The first month you give a fee to Airbnb, but then after the first month, it could be between you and the client without having to pay Airbnb. So basically, you get released from.
Yeah. We're not trying to control you. You can have a financial relationship outside, but what we think is that, and what I mean, do you like what's your feedback on this value proposition from the freelancer perspective? Does it make sense that we could, in terms of keep you engaged on this platform, if you can have these benefits and have these get access to these the benefits of the business page and the promotion and the overall being able to use this as a benefit platform and a networking tool for free, as an ongoing basis as part of our overall value. Would you pay a subscription fee for that?
As an employer, yes.
No, as a freelancer.
Oh, as a freelancer.
Yeah. Would you pay a subscription fee for that?
Only if I get hired. Because, like I said, there are services each time you bid for a job, you pay. So you can bid 5 times, and then if you don't get any of the 5 jobs, the company keeps your fee because you bid. And in that case, the freelancer is losing money.
Well, we're not going to do that. We're going to allow you to bid for free. We're not going to charge for that.
Okay, so it's going to be a fixed rate for the whole month.
It's going to be a monthly subscription model, that's at least what we're researching right now and we're getting feedback on.
Yeah.
So you could bid as much as you want. You could also, if you have an offer for a service,
yeah,
a business can hire you for that, and we're not going to charge you, or at least we're going to minimize the cost for that as well.
Yeah. I mean, the employer should pay more than the freelancer, no?
Well, that's an option too. So there are different ways of approaching it. We could charge the businesses as well a subscription fee.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're looking at, there are both sides of this, right? In terms of a business model, our main point right now is that if we add value on an ongoing basis, then it will make sense to have the fee, have a monthly fee, for example. But so we think that we can create enough value for you, then we could potentially have a subscription model on both sides.
Mm. The website is not live yet, right?
No, we're still in an MVP, developing our MVP, I should say. And part of that is pardon?
You used to be a website developer?
I still am. I mean, I've been involved with this for 20 years. I've been involved with technology as a developer, and as different roles in terms of leadership with technology. But
so you are in your profession right now, yeah.
Yes, and I enjoy that part of it. I like to build, but I also like this part, though, is different. It's about really this product market fit is where you know, for me, it's how do we help people with this? How do we create the most value for people? And using technology, I think the building of the technology part is kind of the less important part. It's really about how we're adding value, how we can help you, you know.
Yeah, will you get a fee from both sides, the employer and the...
Well, I think that's definitely an option that we're looking at, and I think the question is, and we're still researching that from the business perspective, is that how can we add value on an ongoing basis to for the business, and if we can, then that model makes sense. And I think that for me is what really is what the way I would really like to go. But we're going to get more feedback, continue to get feedback, and find out what makes sense. And if it's encouraging, I guess. So, do you think that from your perspective, we can add value on an ongoing basis for you if we can help you generate, as you said, get clients and develop your business and network with people and communicate?
Yeah, I think it's valuable if I'm not losing money in the end. I mean,
Right.
I tried some different platforms. So far, I like Fiverr because only when you book a job do you pay a fee. You pay
Right.
$2 for each $5, but or more. Sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 25, sometimes 20. But basically, you don't pay anything unless you have hired someone.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but the other model I used and that dropped was the one I explained earlier, where I have to pay in advance before I am even hired. That I don't like.
Right. It's interesting. So you would prefer to just pay when you get hired? Is that
No, I prefer to pay when I hire someone.
right?
Like, let's say I need, like you say, a website maintenance. I pay
Right.
someone to do it, and I pay a fee to the company, to Fiverr,
Right.
who hooked me up with that.
Right. And that's from a business perspective. If you're hiring, what about you offering your services?
If
You
I'm
know,
offering my service, um, I don't think I ever had to pay anything on Fiverr if I'm offering.
right.
I
Until
think,
you get hired.
I don't remember. All I know is that I pay to hire, but I don't pay to get hired. And on Airbnb, both parties pay, the person renting and the person offering the place for rent. So they both pay.
Interesting.
So on
Yeah.
Airbnb, you have a place for rent. If it's booked, the person who books it pays, and the person who rents it pays. They both
Right.
pay. So in this way, both got their service fulfilled, whatever, and their need fulfilled, and they both pay. If like I say, some platform only the person hiring is paying.
Right.
And the other
Right.
platform that I quit is the one where I had to pay before getting hired. Like, if
Right.
I want to do a video for someone, each time I bid, I pay. I pay to bid.
Yeah. Right.
That's unfair.
Right.
And
So
for
with
the
that,
same job, they allow 5 bids. That means 5 people are going to pay. Only one will get the job, but all 5 of them are going to pay. That's not
right.
good.
What about if that part was free, if the bidding was free, and also the
That would
hiring
be
part,
that would be much better.
right? And also if the bidding, if somebody hired you, that was also free. Um,
Well, I don't mind
but,
to pay if I'm hired,
right,
but I do
right.
mind to
So that's
pay
because
just,
you're getting value out of that right there.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, but I do mind to pay just to bid.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to make sense.
Yeah, but
Right.
that's
So
also a business model.
right? So it
Anyway,
could be
your model will have a bid to it. I mean, you bid for the
well,
job.
yes, of course, yeah. So we're just debating how we can and looking at our different options about how that will be charged. So will you pay when you're hired, like most of the other platforms work? Will the freelancer pay and the client pay?
Yeah,
Will we use a subscription model where nobody pays, but you
everybody
pay a
pays
monthly
a
fee?
membership fee.
Right, you pay a monthly fee to participate, which is lower, much lower, but it gives you the potential to continue to engage and to find and promote your services,
Mm-hmm.
and because you're getting more value than just the transaction. I mean,
All
you're
right.
building your business other ways. So these are different options we're looking at.
All right. Okay. So I'm sure I'll hear more about it as it becomes a reality. And I'm sure you'll get feedback from a lot of people from the networking event that
Right.
you attend.
Yeah,
So
and it's really interesting to see, I think there's definitely a need out there, and the problem is there, and there's we want to fix the problem. We think that there's a need for that, and how we fix it, and how we pay, pay for it, the business model piece, still evolving a bit, but we're going to get there. We're going to
okay.
figure this. It's just that right fit, and the only way to find that out is to talk to people, and to check, see their experience.
Yeah. And then you can test it also and then see what
Right,
works best.
right, right.
Uh,
Exactly. Yeah. Once we get a little closer, then with our MVP, we'll be able to test that as well. Yeah.
yeah, because if something doesn't work, then you have to pivot and change the model. Yeah. I mean, that's
Yes.
the way startups do it. They try
Right.
something. But anyway, it sounds like good. I don't know if you met the lady who has lithograph on SVE. She has something similar to LinkedIn, but then she formed groups. For example, all the people who participated in the SVE meetup, she put them in one kind of group, and then they feel they have been connected, and they are on their lithograph website.
Okay. You know
Yeah,
the
I don't know,
URL?
LIFOGRAPH. But she
Okay.
didn't charge anything yet. It's just a platform like LinkedIn,
Right.
but from people who already have connected together, like on our meetup.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's an idea too.
Right. Yeah. Networking is really important, and building this network of people you can trust and that you can help each other out. I think it's really important.
That too, yeah. The
Oh,
fact that you meet them more than once is good too.
yeah.
So anyway, let's revisit maybe in a year when it's up and running, and you can announce that it's live and that it's working. So thank you so much. I
Thank you,
enjoyed
Aline.
finding
It's been a
out about
pleasure.
your idea. So just the one last thing, the freelancer will put his references, referrals on his page.
Yes.
That's the way it works. Okay. This
Yeah.
way.
So that's the one. That's one piece of this, the referral network for hiring freelancers. Yeah. So that's the key point in this whole concept of this referral, right? And providing a better quality
And,
experience
and
overall.
you as an employer, you'll be able to contact that referral if you want to.
Right. At no cost and easily. So you can
Oh,
connect and network with these people
oh,
easily.
you can contact them through the website, and
Yep.
they'll
Yep.
get they'll
You
get
can chat with them. You can connect and do. Yeah. So we're going to make that part easy. Yeah.
like a little chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was good to find out about your platform. It's definitely a little bit different than the others. So
Vivi.page.
Vivi.page, yeah,
Right.
PAGE, right?
Right.
Not too many people use that, right?
No, that's a rare one. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll look it up maybe in 6 months when it's live. You think it will take at least 6 months? Yeah.
I would say we're still working on it. It could take a little while, a few
Oh,
months
okay.
anyway.
All right. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy
Thank you, Elaine.
the children. and enjoy the sunshine. Thank you. Have a great
All right,
day.
you too. Take care. Have a great day.
You too. You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.